Okay, so this video is going to be a quick one, not super fancy because I made one and lost the entire thing. So we're going to do this kind of quick. Okay, so our first examples are a monomial times a polynomial, and all you do is the distributive property. Okay, now remember to follow your rules of exponents that we learned when we slotted in the last few weeks. So you're going to take negative 2x times 3x squared. You get negative 6x to the third power because there's a 1 here. And remember, when you're multiplying an x to the first times an x to the second, you add the exponents. Okay, then we take negative 2x times 4x, and we're going to get negative 8x to the second, because remember there's a 1 there. And then negative 2x to the first times negative 7 is positive 14x. Now none of these are like terms, because they all have different exponents. So that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 1. So you can't combine them. You can only add and subtract like terms, and none of these are. So this is as simple as our answer will be. In my next example, I'm going to take 5x squared and multiply it by x squared. So I'm going to get 5x to the fourth. I'm going to take 5x squared times 6x. I'm going to get 30x cubed, because remember there's a 1 there. And then 5x squared times 1 is 5x squared. Again, I have no like terms. I have an x to the fourth, an x to the third, and an x to the second. So this is as simple as it will be. My next example is a binomial times a binomial, because I have two terms times two terms. And remember, we don't see anything here, so this is times. Okay, I'm going to teach you just one method. It's called the box method. So you're going to take your two binomials, we're going to write a box. We're going to make a box, kind of like your Punnett squares in science. I know you guys keep saying that. They're like Punnett squares. Okay, and you're going to take each of your binomials. I'm going to take this 3x minus 4, and I'm going to put it along the side here. I'm going to take the 5x plus 1 and put it on top. Now, it wouldn't matter if you switched them. You could put the 3x minus 4 on top, the 5x plus 1 on the side. But these two terms do have to stay together. Okay, so I'm going to take 3x and negative 4, and I'm going to put 5x and 1 up here. Now you're going to multiply 3x times 5x and put your answer here. So when I multiply them, I get 15x to the second. Don't forget your rules of exponents. Then you're going to take your 3x times your 1 and put your answer right here. So it's going to be 3x. Then you're going to take your negative 4 times 5x, write your answer here because that's where they would meet. And we have negative 20x, and then negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Now you can go ahead and you can take all of your answers from your box and write them as a polynomial. Oops. Let me erase that. Minus 20x minus 4. And then you could combine your like terms. So you'd have 15x squared. And then 3x minus 20x is negative 17x minus 4. Okay. Or, just so you know, you could have noticed that you have like terms in the box. You have 3x and negative 20x. Those are like terms. You could go ahead and combine them and go directly to this step. So 15x squared, 3x and negative 20x is negative 17x, and then your negative 4. Okay. Okay, so my next example is another binomial times a binomial. So I'm going to make the box. I'm going to put a little over to the side here so I have a little more room to my right. And this time I'm going to take my first binomial and put it at the top, and my second binomial and put it down here. So it doesn't matter, okay? So 10x times 7x is 70x squared. 10x times negative 6 is negative 60x. Negative 1 times 7x is negative 7x. And negative 1 times negative 6 is 6. So when I write my binomial out, it's 70x squared minus 60x minus 7x plus 6. Put the plus because it's a positive 6. Then I have some like terms right here. So I'm going to have 70x squared. Negative 60x minus 7x is negative 67x plus 6. There's my answer. It's as simple as it gets. I can't combine any other terms. And our last example is a binomial times a trinomial. And you do it exactly the same as a binomial times a binomial, except your box is going to be 3 by 2 this time. Okay, so you're going to put your 2x and your 1, and then your x squared, negative 3x, and 4. So 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. 2x times negative 3x is negative 6x squared. 2x times 4 is 8x. 1 times x squared is x squared. 1 times negative 3x is negative 3x. And 1 times 4 is 4. Now if you notice, you have some like terms here, and then you have some like terms here. So I'm going to bring down my 2x cubed. This is going to come down. I'm going to add my x squared to my negative 6x squared and get negative 5x squared. I'm going to combine my negative 3x and my 8x and get 5x. And then the 4 is just going to come down. Whoops. And your final answer is 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 5x plus 4. And that's how you multiply a binomial times a trinomial.